Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
So check it out. The D6 Squad has merch now. We got hoodies, tees, mugs, whatever you need. Check it out. Link in the description. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. This one is something I've been excited to do. I've taken a while to do it, but finally going to get this out. Kyle Pitts. First off, Kyle Pitts is a weapon. He's not just a regular tight end. He's a weapon. He's someone that you can line up anywhere on the field, literally anywhere. You can even line him up in the backfield. He's someone that's going to be crazy in the red zone. He's just someone that you can use a ton of different ways. You can throw him screens. You can throw him down the field. You can use him in different ways. You can use him as a traditional tight end too. You wouldn't get the full amount of, you wouldn't get all the talent that he's going to be able to bring to the table, but you can use him, pretty much everywhere. But I'll just show you here. He's working against a corner. He's going to work against a lot of corners. And these aren't just, bad players. These corners are going to be guys they're going to be going to the NFL. And he's beating number one corners on these teams. He's the number one receiver. So let's start this here. Release. He's so good with the stutter step release. And he's so big that people don't expect the guy this big to just be able to stutter and accelerate the way he does. And the corner does a good job of getting his hands on him. But once you play the physical game with a big physical receiver like this, he's going to use this hand that he's got right here. And he's going to use this hand that he has right here. And he's just going to just push him out of the way. And this is also something I want to make sure that you guys realize. The ball is thrown up. And he basically, most receivers, they're going to have to jump really high. They're going to have to be really high off the ground to catch a ball like this. But he's just, a slight, little hop and just perfect hands, catches the ball with his hands on a regular basis, tucks it away, and turns this into a pretty nice play. And, he's not the easiest to take down. And I keep talking about corners here. Here you see J.C. Horn. Is this a good corner? Is this an NFL corner? I think it is. And he's able to beat corners like this. So, again, he's going to come off of this release, give him a stutter, go. And just at this point, it's just a hand fight. And he does a good job of boxing him out like a big receiver does and catching the ball. And, I don't understand why people don't understand that he's a weapon. He's a weapon that can be used on the outside. Of course, you don't want him lining up every single play on the outside, but he can beat guys that are talked about as number one first round corners. This guy's probably going to be the starting corner for the Arizona Cardinals this year. He's probably going to be the starting corner. And Kyle Pitts pretty much had his way. All the physicality, it doesn't really matter. And for the guys that say you want a big physical receiver, but you don't like Kyle Pitts because he's not a physical tight end. Well, first off, Kyle Pitts is a physical tight end. He's not the best blocker, but he's a physical blocker. He's a guy who doesn't back down from blocking, and he's a physical receiver. A physical player is a physical player. Let's not overcomplicate it. So in this play, Kyle Pitts is a big target. He's someone that has a tremendous catch radius, and this is an example of his route running and his catch radius all pretty much on the same play. This is him lining up and at the tight end position. And you can tell how great of a route runner he is from this spot. So let's watch him come out of this tight end stance, 84, right across the middle. And he's open. And look at him just go up and get the ball. And now he didn't even have to this guy can jump higher than this. And he didn't really have to, leave his feet too much. And he's going to catch that and, get some more yards. And that's one thing. As we take it back here, this is him against J.C. Horn. But if you take it back here, you see that he high points it, gets back on balance, and gets about 6-7 more yards. And that's exactly what we want from guys like Kyle Pitts. That's what you want in a tight end, someone who's going to make physical contested catches or open catches and then be a threat to take down because they're supposed to be big humans. Something that Evan Ingram isn't. He's 6'3". This dude, Kyle Pitts, is a monster. He's 6'6", 250. So let's look at Pitts here coming out from the second angle. He's not messed up on horn this time. It's the same play. And you just see him just come off the line. I mean, you usually don't see someone that's 6'6" being able to make a cut like this. And he just, attacks half his body and just is open. And then on top of him being so agile for someone his height and his weight pretty much, he's also strong. He can also run the physical routes. He gets jammed there, 10, 15 yards down the field, and he just works off of the jam, and he's open. I mean, anytime someone tries to get physical with him, these kind of things happen. And then, like I said, he's a load to take down. And then here, we just see how much of an issue that Kyle Pitts is in the red zone. It's just an issue. I mean, 84 right here. You're going to see him just come off the ball and just it's not fair. It's not fair at all. You're going to just see him come off the ball from this tight end slot position. I mean, you can kind of say, some slot receivers would line up right here occasionally, but he's pretty much in line right beside the left tackle. And he's just going to just come off the ball, give this guy outside move. And it's just hilarious how he can just out quickness and outspeed these guys at the second level and just not even at this point, there's not much room for error. If you got a guy like Evan Ingram, or you got a guy that's not necessarily a guy who's going to attack the football and always come down with it, this might be intercepted. This might be considered a bad throw by the quarterback. But since Kyle Pitts is in the vicinity, he's just going to go up and get it. High point. High point it. Go up and get it. Tuck it away. And you got a touchdown. And can someone tell me what human being on this planet is stopping Kyle Pitts from getting to the ball? Can somebody please tell me? I'll wait. I just want to know. I mean, because you want to score more points, and you have a guy who's going to be a consistent red zone threat and a possession threat to get you down the field, a guy who could be a 1,000-yard receiver who can line up all over the field. Why wouldn't you want a guy like this? I have no idea. And then on this play, we got Kyle Pitts working against the corner again. This isn't J.C. Horn, but you're just going to see him just give this corner an outside fake and just come right back to the inside, and he's going to get an easy score. And this is, of course, in the red zone. This is the beauty. He's not just a jump ball receiver in the red zone. He's a jump ball receiver in the red zone, and he can run routes to create space in the red zone. And the thing is, when you're such a threat to go up and get the ball and, attack that corner of the end zone and be that fade receiver, you're also a threat to fake doing that. As we start this off right here, fake that fade route, and you're going to get 24 and a cornerback to commit to making sure they don't get beat on that fade and just come back inside, and you're open. I mean, it's easy, and the way the dude leaves the ground is amazing. It's just too easy for him, and he always catches it with his hands. He's not a body catcher at all. Every time you see this dude catch the ball, he has it in his hands. So here we got another corner that he's working against, because people seem to think that he cannot beat corners. And here's more evidence of him working on the outside against the corner. So let's see. He's going to come off the ball. This corner, he's not going to try to press him or anything. And he's basically, like I said, going to fake using that speed and using that, jump ball, go up and get it ability. He's going to fake that and just come back inside. And look at the space right there. The play just started, and he's already got space. How many times last year did Daniel Jones, or if you're watching from another team and your quarterback had issues, finding receivers that were open in the quick game because no one could get open, how many times did teams blitz us and Daniel Jones couldn't find someone open? How many times did this happen? Well, guess what? The play just started, and you have 84 wide open. You got him wide open. And another hands catch. Another hands catch. Another hands catch. So, I mean, he's a natural receiver. And he's going to get more yards. He's going to get more yards after the catch. And you guys don't want this on your team. You need weapons, but you don't want this on your team. Now, here's a little bit more evidence of Kyle Pitts as he circled at the top of your screen here. And it's just more evidence of how great of a route runner he is at 6'6", 250. You got. I mean, Florida was a freak show with the shiftiness this year, and Tony is probably the shiftiest receiver out of this draft. You got Kadarius Toney, number one right here, But Kyle Pitts, I mean, he's pretty shifty for a guy that size. So you're going to see him come off the ball and run a whip route. He's going to, come inside, fake inside and get back outside. And he doesn't get the ball, but watch the separation that he creates, mind you, against a corner. Who would have thought? So you see the play inside and watch how quick someone this big changes direction. The corner is already biting inside and he's out wide open. I mean, and this is all you want. This is all you want out of somebody that is not even supposed to be able to play outside because he's 6'6", 250. This is all you need. I mean, to be able to run a whip route and create that much separation at 6'6", 250 and have all the other aspects of the game that are, irreplaceable and be able to do this is just ridiculous. So guess what? Kyle Pitts can also be the yak tight end. He can also get yards after the catch. And as you'll see on the next couple of plays I show you, you got him in the slot right here playing, regular slot receiver. Who would have thought? Let's see. You're going to see him come off the ball and, give him a stutter and get back inside. And then at that point, the show just started. The show has just begun. 13 misses his tackle and 9 misses his tackle. And you got 3 people there and you're down at the 1. But this is all Kyle Pitts. And notice how Kyle Pitts catches the ball with his hands. Again, hands. When you catch the ball with your hands, you can run with the ball. You can run with the football. You don't have to stop. You don't have to slow down because you're not getting hit with the ball and having your momentum stop. You got your hands on it, keep running. And, this is a huge play. And then for all my people who you don't really feel like getting creative with them, you don't want to move them around, 84 right here in the bottom corner of your screen can just be a tight end and run some seam routes. You want to be boring about it and do it, but he's not going to make it look boring. He's going to make it look explosive. He's going to come out of his stance, get straight down the seams, accelerate through the defense, catch this ball, and, get out of here. So a lot of people say that Kyle Pitts is soft and, he's a diva and he doesn't want to block. Listen, anybody that watches the NFL today, these tight ends are not blocking tight ends. You got out of the starting tight ends, you got probably 4 or 5 or less that are actually blockers out of starters. Depth guys are one thing, backup guys are another thing. But out of the starters, you don't have that many tight ends that are dominant blocking tight ends. That's not the game today. It's just not the game today. Pat Freiermuth, he's an exception to the rule. But Pat Freiermuth is not going to fall to the Giants in the second round. We can't get him in the second round. But you don't have dominant blocking tight ends. What you need is tight ends who aren't scared to get in the way and who are able to slow people down enough for the play not to be ruined. That's all you need. That's literally all you need. He's lined up at tight end here, 84, and he's going to do a good job blocking. I mean, a decent job blocking. Of course, he's not a mauler. He's not an offensive lineman, but he's going to be a good job blocking. He's going to do a pretty good job. So he's going to come out of his stance right here, and he's at the top of your screen right here, at the right corner of your screen. He's just going to engage and just do enough to create that small gap, and that goes from being a 7-yard gain to a first down. That's all you need. He got in his way, shielded him off, and that's a first down because of Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts doesn't make this block. This gets tackled right here. This is a 6-yard gain instead of an 11-yard gain. This is another play. Kyle Pitts doesn't shy away from contact. He doesn't shy away from blocking. He gets in the way, and he creates another solid run play. So he's gonna pull 84, and he sort of misses this block a little, but he doesn't give up on it. He still is able to stop this guy from coming through and making this tackle, and he lays him out. 27 gets to the edge because of Kyle Pitts. I mean, at least if you're going to say that someone's scared to block and he's soft and all of this stuff, at least watch the tape on him because he's never shying away from blocks, and he usually gets in the way and creates plays like this. Of course, he's not gonna, you're not gonna be able to run a power run and use him as a fullback, and he's not. It's not his game. But there's no really, there's no real starting tight ends, besides Kittle and maybe Gronkowski that are power blockers. Kelsey is not a power blocking tight end. He's just not a bad blocker. That's all you need to do in the NFL is just not be a horrible blocker. And Kyle Pitts isn't a horrible blocker. And I'm going to wrap this film session up with this play. And it's just pretty much summarizes Kyle Pitts and everything that he's about. And, this is why we should look at taking him. Again, he's not my first option. But you have to acknowledge how elite of a prospect he is. And he's not just a tight end. I'm sorry. I just won't let you guys get away with that narrative. And he's not Evan Ingram, because Evan Ingram is it's just I can't let you guys push this narrative. But let's watch him come out of this slot here, get down the field, get down the seams. And, you got 3 people in the vicinity, 2 people in the vicinity, and Kyle Pitts just leaps, catches the ball, 2 feet down, and mind you, this is towards the end of the game, but they're playing against Alabama, and you got 2 children in the area, and he just comes down with the ball. So I decided to pause it right here. I usually like to stop it on a still frame that I like when I talk about these players at the end. But listen, if you don't want to draft Kyle Pitts because of Evan Ingram, I understand it. The PTSD is real. But Kyle Pitts is not the same player as Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram was like 6'3", 230 coming out of college. He was a serial dropper. He wasn't the best route runner. All Evan Ingram was pure speed. That's all he was pure speed. He ran a 4.4 flat. So basically he's 4.3 at a tight end. So that's a lot of potential, but not a lot of polish. Kyle Pitts is extremely polished as a route runner. As a receiver, he's a natural hands catcher. He had 0, that's less than 1, 0 drops last year. He was the number 1 target in his offense. And you have a receiver that is going to go pretty high in this draft, Kadarius Toney, who was the number 2 option on his team because they had Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a top 5 prospect in this draft. If you take out, positional value, he's a top 5 prospect in the entire draft. Probably Trevor Lawrence, Penei Sewell, Michael Parsons, and, the receivers. So maybe he's, top 7, but he's an elite prospect. I just want you all to have this film to look at, to be able to make your decision, an informed decision, before you completely rule out taking him as a player. So now that you've seen it, you can make your own decision. I'm someone who thinks that he's a weapon that you can line up anywhere, that is well worth a top 11 pick, that is well worth a top 10 pick, in my opinion. And you guys let me know what you think. I don't see him as a regular tight end. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 Squad member. If you're a D6 Squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.